Hey guys, so welcome to part 3 of my Beyonce experience to the Cowboy Carter. Now, I mentioned this before. I said that what if Beyonce gave us the third act, or she gave us a glimpse of what the 3-act project were going to be. We go back to Black is King when Beyonce made the different visual albums for the Black is King film, basically a love letter to Africa, right? If we saw one of the videos, which is called Already with Major Lazer, we saw that Beyonce was sitting on a horse with different patches, and she was channeling the different entities of the African spirit, the different spirituality beings. And if we look at ever since self-titled, Beyonce has revolutionized the different ways she puts out projects. And I said that for my part 2 of my video, how Lemonade created the floodgates to what we see country album of Beyonce looks like by blending different genre. Each things that Beyonce has released since self-titled has been genre bending, but yet again, it's not like it's new. Beyonce has been doing genre bending since her very first album release in 2003. What I find very interesting about the upcoming tour, if we look upon the Renaissance tour and its influence, besides the disco, but also the pioneers, the queer pioneers, as well as the futuristic look that the Renaissance had, the Renaissance complements Cowboy Carter because of the visuals that hasn't released yet. Thus, the marketing all ties in with the Renaissance tour. A lot of person was also explaining that the platinum version that Beyonce is now, accustomed right now, when she strategically blends the ending of Renaissance to the start of Cowboy Carter, it was very seamlessly, because if you look at it, in Renaissance, her hair was like this blonde, but yet silver. And as the blonde fades in, she revealed at the end of the Beyonce movie, and it was her strategically transforming into Cowboy Carter. Now, there was a scene on the Verizon commercial where she is standing with Renaissance Renee on the spear, the Los Angeles spear that she created, that she would have been a residence over there. I think everything, I mentioned that before in previous videos, everything that Beyonce has released up to now and leading up to the tour, which we have some big announcement, which I'm still deciding, but this is going to be the first ever live reaction to the tour on my channel. I will be announcing that I will be making a strategy to go to the Cowboy Carter tour. I said it, I'm announcing it, I'm claiming it by the grace of prosperity, that I will make sure to have the funds to go to the Cowboy Carter tour, because I think this tour will let me know what Act 3 is gonna be. A lot of people are speculating, just like when she announced the different customs of the different ensembles of the clothes that she was gonna wear, right? It was 16 different clothes that I think was designed by Balmain, and it was the background of the song was Move, which was one of the tracks on Renaissance. And I think that even though we all start understanding like the different ensemble for Cowboy Carter with the hats and everything. I think this. I haven't even talked about the stage and how the stage is gonna play just along with the Cowboy Carter aesthetic. I said this before again. When Beyonce did the Renaissance film and when she released the first few tickets in America, there was this Renaissance book that Beyonce gave out to very few people that got the VIP part, and that Beyonce had 3 different forms of stages, including the Renaissance stage, and that I feel as if each stage will be in a different type of complement, because I think stage 1 and stage 2, right, are going to merge to make up the visuals for 3. Because when she released the Verizon commercial, every look of the ensemble for Cowboy Carter was right in front of us. And it also, if you think about it, it looks like a track. The first one, My House, right? If you look at the chrome look but red for the opening act for Cowboy Carter, I think that's what it's gonna be. And she's gonna involve Lemonade album into Cowboy Carter, because Lemonade and Cowboy Carter fits perfectly together. Because nobody knew when she did the Renaissance tour, she started off with such a early but yet old part of her album songs, which is Dangerously in Love, and it fit right into the whole Renaissance ensemble. So just like what she did before, I believe that she is planning to do the exact same thing. Maybe she could open up the tour with Pray You Catch Me, right? It could be something. I'm thinking of the set list of how she's gonna start the tour. Now, is this tour gonna be longer than Renaissance? Maybe. But from what I'm hearing, the Renaissance tour was at least 500 million, and if she would have extended it even longer, she would have caught up to Taylor Swift Eras tour. But from what they're saying, Beyonce is doing 5 or 4 nights at the Cowboy Carter, which is gonna make it even longer than any other tour that is releasing this year. Which is gonna be spectacular. There's so much, I feel as if, from Black is King to Renaissance to now Cowboy Carter, I feel as if Lemonade and Black is King, which was the last project she released before 2021 got here. We know that she said that Cowboy Carter was a 5-year in the making project. She mentioned her influence and her reason of creating Cowboy Carter. We also have to also understand that everything that Beyonce has released so far is very strategic. She did say that at a later part of her career she's slowing down, but it doesn't mean that she's not going to release any music. Now, I did mention in previous videos that upon all the 3 acts, I think there's a 4th act, which it could be something completely different, or it could be the long-awaited visuals. Now, I think 2027, Beyonce will release Act 3 accordingly to how she's been doing the patterns. It's like release one album, going, and then that's another thing too. The strategicness and the spirituality of Cowboy Carter, right? Cowboy Carter was released on the 29th of March, which the reason why I'm kicking off the Cowboy Carter experience 1 year later, it is significant because the death of Christ, right? And it seems like she's putting gospel into this album, because Cowboy Carter released on Easter, Good Friday, which is the Passover, if I'm not mistaken. Then she did the Beyonce Bowl, which a lot of people acknowledge that is the birthday of Christ. So it went full circle. If you think of it, it went full circle. She released, and then think of the album itself like an Easter egg, right? It's very gospel. The Cowboy Carter has a very gospel tone to it because of country. And the color sometimes that's significant with Cowboy Carter, the white is very purified, right? And then the white and blue complements that, right? It's very patriotic but yet gospel. So think of it that way. Why she created the colors palette for this album. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys for part 4, which will talk about the tour and the seating arrangement of this tour. I can't wait. And then for part 5 will be the listening of Cowboy Carter. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.